Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. So in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you in details of how I cut this beautiful gown you are watching on the screen right now. I'll be showing you how I cut it from beginning to the end. So if you are interested in this kind of tutorial, kindly stay back and watch this tutorial from beginning to the end. So can you see here? Just draw it a little bit up and tie it to your desire. If you want it to be open more than this, just draw it a little bit up and till it give you what you want. But I think it's okay like this for me. That's why I decided that okay, I think it's okay for me. I don't want you to show my body. That's why I leave it like this, and this is it. It's very beautiful and it's very easy to make. So if you like this gown, kindly stay back and watch it from beginning to the end. Thanks for watching. We will need our rib bias, and we will need our scissors, our chalk for this tutorial. Definitely we will need our tape rule as well and stuff like that. So let's get started with this tutorial and see how I cut it. I'll be doing only the cutting tutorial in this particular video, but in my next tutorial I'll be showing you how I sew it. So let's get started. So here is our fabric. I'm just trying to arrange the fabric. So the first thing I'll be cutting is the down part of the gown that we're making, the down part. So from the half length downward, that is what I'm going to be cutting right now. So the length we are working with in this tutorial is the length measurement of 39, and from the length measurement I'm going to remove the half length from this tutorial. I'll remove the person half length. So I already placed my tape rule from the half length, so I have my 38. So this is 38 for the length, so I'll be using 38 for the length. Then I will add 2 inches to the length measurement. That is going to be for the folding and the joining at the down part. So this is it. So for the breadth measurement, the person hip measurement is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give us 9 plus So this is it. I already have the front and the back body. I'm just trying to trim the down part because this down part is not straight. So this is it. This is what we have. So the first thing I'm going to do now is that, let me show you, this is 1 inches that I added to it for the zip allowance. So that is that about that. So now for our waist, the person waistline is 28. 28 divided by 4 will give us 7. So this is the 7. I mark it. The 7 you are going to chalk. Don't chalk it with the zip allowance at this side. So I mark it from the front body. So I mark out my 7 inches. Then I'm going to plus 2 inches for the sewing allowance. So that is that about that. Now the next thing I'm going to measure is from the waistline From the waistline, I'm going to measure out 7 inches. This is the 7 inches. That is the hip line. This one that I mark out right now is the hip line measurement. So for the hip now, we said the hip measurement divided by 4. The person hip is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give us 9. So I'm going to mark out the 9. Then I'll mark out 2 inches for the sewing allowance as well. So I'm going to connect the line as shown. So I'm going to connect the line. I'm just trying to take the measurement again. So anything you have at the waist measurement plus 1 inches, that is with the half length measurement. Our half length measurement is 15. This is our half length measurement, 15. Then I plus 1 inches to the person half length measurement. This is a half length. Then I added 1 inches to the half length. I think I added 1.5 or so to the half length measurement because of the sewing, the joining at the waistline and the joining on the shoulder. So I already cut out the front and the back piece of our half length measurements. I already cut the front and the back piece. So I'm just trying to arrange it before we start to take our necessary measurement, which is the shoulder measurement, the bust measurement, and the waistline measurement. That is all we need for the half length measurement. So this is the zip allowance. I added 1 inches as well to the back bodies. So let's start taking our measurements one after the other. So we are still going to work with the person shoulder measurement. Our shoulder is 14 plus 1/2 inches. I'm going to add 1/2 inches to the shoulder measurement. That makes it plus 1/2 inches. That is going to be for the sewing allowance. So anything I use for the shoulder, that is what I always use for the armhole, and it works perfectly for me. If I use 7.5 for my shoulder measurement, that is what I will use for the armhole measurement. It works perfectly for me. So I'm going to get the midpoint of 7.5. The midpoint, you can just put your measurement as shown, just fold it into 2 like this and just mark it out. Then I'll come in with 1/2 inch right here. So I'm going to place my French curve. I'll now place my French curve as shown. Can you see that? Sorry, it's not showing very well. By the time I cut it, you will see it. So that is that about that. The next thing we are going to do now is to take out the bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. I added 1.5 for the sewing allowance at the half length body. And I'll come to the waistline. Our waist measurement is 28. 28 divided by 4 will give us 7. 7 plus 1.5 inches that I had here earlier. So I will use it here as well. Then I'm going to connect it together. Connect these lines together. The next thing we are going to do now is to work with the neckline measurement. Depending on how the type of neckline you're working with, depending on your shoulder measurement. So for this one, I'll be using 3.5 by 3.5 for the front neckline, 3.5 by 3.5 for the front neckline. And I'll use the same 3.5 by 1 for the back neckline. For the shoulder slope, I'll be using 1 inches for the shoulder slope. Can you see that? So the next thing we are going to do now is to start cutting it out. And I'll cut the back piece as well. Then I'll be using ribbon. I'm not using lining to turn it. I'll be using ribbon to turn it. So the next thing that we are going to cut now is the sleeve. We are going to cut the sleeve out. We are going to cut our sleeve. And since you're using a puff sleeve, it's just going to have little pleats at the shoulder. So for the sleeve length, I'll be using 22.5. Then I'm going to plus 2 inches. These 2 inches that I had is going to represent the folding at the down part of the sleeve. Because I'll be folding the sleeve at the down part, that's where I'm going to pass my elastic in. So this is what we have. So from here, I'm going to measure out 5 inches. From this side, I'll measure out 5 inches. Then I'm going to do my armhole shape right here. So this is it. So the next thing we are going to do now is to cut it out. Let's cut our sleeve out right now. And I'll notch this place. Make sure that you always notch here, so that by the time you sew your clothes finish, it will not bend. Then I'm going to cut here as well. Can you see that? So that is it. Now back to the down part of our sleeve, to this edge right here. I'm going to notch where I'll be folding at the down part. I'm going to, we added 2 inches to it, right? So I'll be folding 1.5. The remaining half inches we go with the joining at the shoulder. So that is that about that as well. That is for the sleeve. Now the next thing we are going to cut now is the rope. There is a rope at the down part of the gown. The rope that we are going to use to do the design that we're making at the down part of the skirt of our gown rather. So we are going to cut the rope. So for the rope, I use 1.5 inches for the rope. Yes, I'll be using 1.5 inches for the rope. So I'm going to cut this in 2 places. I'll be cutting this in 2 places. Thanks for joining the channel. So if today is the first time of watching my channel, you are welcome. And if you are a return subscriber, you are welcome as well. So if today is the first time of watching my channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by supporting me. Thank you so much for doing that. If there is anything you don't understand in this tutorial, you are free to comment in the comment section. Ask anything you don't understand, and I promise to answer you sincerely. And I promise to answer you. So this is everything after we cut it. This is the body, the half length, the sleeve, and that is that about that. So after sewing everything together, after we sew everything, this is what we have. Can you see that? So this is it after sewing it anyway. So if you would like to watch how I sew it, kindly check back tomorrow on this same channel. You're going to see it. I'm going to be posting it on the channel, how I sew it from beginning to the end. Thanks so much for watching this channel. Kindly subscribe to this channel so that you'll be notified anytime I posted a new video. Thanks for watching the channel. God bless you. Bye. See you guys in my next tutorial.